Hello and welcome back to today's video. I am so excited to be recording this for you guys. This should be my third video that's posted in February. Look at me go. Today I am going to get ready. We have a salon photo shoot because we're redoing the website and we have some new staff and whatnot. I believe we're going to like a parking deck and we're gonna wear all black and take new pictures for the salon. So yes, that is what I'm getting ready for. My face probably looks a little crazy. I've got concealer on a couple of my really dark red pimple ghosts, acne scars. My mom calls them pimple ghosts. I'm just going to get ready and talk to you guys at the same time. Not really sure what about. I'm gonna start with my eyes just in case if anything falls down, I can just wipe it off before I do my face. I'm sorry if I keep looking down at this mirror, but I don't really have another option. So I will briefly kind of explain to you guys what I'm using. For the most part, I'm keeping it super simple. I'm gonna use the Jaclyn palette and Tati Beauty's eyeshadow palette. I had all intentions of like spray tanning myself, or not spray tanning, but mousse tanning myself last night and looking real cute, but it just didn't happen. She is not self-tanned, but it's okay. I'm gonna open these so I can kind of see all the colors. I don't even know what I'm really trying to do. I am gonna use these little guys. I use them a lot when I do wedding makeup. Basically, I cut them in half because they're kind of awkward when you use the whole thing. But I just use it to get a clean line here, just slightly under the lash line, and then the same thing on the other side. And then you look insane for just a few minutes, but your eyeshadow will be perfectly symmetrical on both sides. Shadow shields, that's what these are called. It just popped into my head. All right, so I'm going to Shape Tape my eyeballs as a primer. I'm really gonna do this pretty quick. I'm not trying to make it absolutely perfect. And usually if you do your eyes first and then your foundation, you can almost get away with anything. Like it almost always looks good still. Just pat that in on the eyelid. Ta-da! So after that, I'm going to kind of just let that sit for just a second, and then I will put just a tiny bit of setting powder, like a very tiny amount, because if you go overboard with this, then your eyelids can look a little crusty. Probably like my lips. Did not think about putting any chapstick on, but they look okay today. My lips have been struggling lately. So I'm gonna set that ever so slightly, just so I don't get stuck when I'm trying to blend in shades, but I don't want it to look too powdery. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna use, for the transition shades, a little combo of these. I don't know what the names are, but this is out of the Jaclyn palette. I didn't check to see if this brush had anything on it. Doesn't. Thank you, Jesus. Oh, I forgot the part where I need to talk to you guys. Geez, I don't know. What do you guys want to know? Probably a little bit of where the heck have you been? That might be popping in your head right now. I was dealing with 2020 just like everyone else, you know? It was really hard. I think we were quarantined for 56 days in total, and for those 56 days Channing did not go to his dad's at all because his dad still was going to work, and we didn't at the time know how scary the virus was yet. Yeah, there was 56 days of just being at home, and then he would go see his Mimi and Poppy, which are Channing's grandparents. They definitely helped, but other than that it was just me and Channing here. And I know that we all, if you have kids, we all love them dearly, but it is hard when you're used to working a full-time job to all of a sudden be a stay-at-home mom. That was a huge adjustment. Okay, so I am right now, just FYI, I'm kind of darkening it. Like I did a light color and a little bit darker, now a little bit darker, and I just slowly kind of build. I feel like it looks way more clean and blended that way. And I kind of started with the lightest color up here and then darker down into the crease, if anybody is curious. Whenever we started quarantine, I was like, wow, this would be a great time to film some vlogs and kind of do that kind of thing. But with my dad being home, there's nothing wrong with my dad. I love my dad dearly. It's just he doesn't quite understand the YouTube thing. It would be just weird for me to try to film while my dad was also quarantined with us at the same time. That really wasn't a possibility for me. Now I'm gonna take this darker brown shade and do the same thing, just like right at the edge right here. So yeah, I don't know, that was my 2020. Half of it was quarantine. I think it was about the same for everyone. It was in that moment I realized, again, as much as I love my sweet daddy, that I probably need to get my own place because I'm 27. It just has never made a whole lot of sense when my dad used to go out of town all the time and we have this house that has plenty of room, and it just kind of was always silly to the both of us for like, why would I leave if I could just stay here and save money? But kind of getting to that point where it's about time to just be an adult and get my own place. Okay, I'm gonna go a little bit darker, probably some of this, and just focus that mainly at the lash line. I don't want to do anything too wild. I just want a little bit of shadow behind my eyelashes and the corners. I'm not doing anything dramatic. Like, the older I get, the weirder it looks to have too much dark going on or too much shimmery going on. It just, the more natural the better for right now until I can figure out how to make the other things work. Okay, I'm done with the Jaclyn palette, putting her away. Moving on to the Tati palette. Listen, can I just for a second, if anybody watches as much YouTube as I do, I understand that Miss Tati Westbrook was in some drama, but I would appreciate if she continued to make eyeshadow palettes, because this is one of, I mean, it is my favorite eyeshadow palette of all time. And because this is mostly warm, I would just love to see a cool tone palette. That would really make my life. So Tati, if you're out there, I understand you're really going through it. I like your eyeshadows a whole lot. Please make more. Okay, now with a kind of skinnier blending brush situation, gonna mix Ritual and Memory. A little bit of brown, a little bit of black. Tap it off. Now these colors are much more pigmented. Really gonna focus on the lash line and kind of little circles. There's that. A little more definition, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, all right, she's done it. I'm gonna take a little bit of this blending color right here and use that to just blend out the top edge. The black and brown. Trying not to make this too warm, but it's going warm. It's okay though. That is what I have for the eyeballs so far. Nothing crazy. Keeping it natural. I'm going to take some more Shape Tape. I'm gonna put this, just dot it. Boop. Then I'll take my finger, just lighten up that inner corner area. And then we're gonna put a nice shimmery color right here. Make my little eyeballs pop. That is where this shade comes in handy. This is the most glorious wedding shade if you do wedding makeup. This is Aura, and it's the metallic one. Stunning. Sometimes this can look a little too light if you're tan, but because I'm on the more fair side, it's just a perfect little shimmer. I love that color so much. I feel like I always get those colors packed on better with my finger than a brush. The last thing that I'm gonna do with these shadow shields on is kind of like a shadow liner. Instead of using actual liner, I still might use a little bit of regular liner. Mix the brown and the black, and I'm gonna use the shadow shield as the underside of my wing, and it will be perfect. Won't even have to try. When people would ask me about wedding makeup and like, what if somebody wants a wing? Well, these little guys, because wings are hard on other people, but they're very easy if you have some shadow shields in your makeup box. They're super cheap. You can get like 5 million of them on Amazon for $5. All right, I think for right now, I'm gonna leave the eyes alone. Sometimes what I'll do after all my makeup's on, if I feel like the outer corners need a little bit more dark, then I'll go back in. For right now, we're just gonna peel these away. Ta-da. I'm gonna take makeup wipe and clean up anything that has fallen down. You can follow the line of that shadow shield and then boom, a crispy line. I'm gonna put a little bit of this matte Aura shade from the Tati palette under my brow bone. And then usually when I get my face done, I'll go in and put the rest of like whatever I want highlighted, like my tear duct area. Anything else I'll do at the end so it pops. Somehow I'm making this a makeup tutorial and it's not supposed to be. I'm just gonna continue and talk to you guys about other stuff. After 56 days of quarantine, we were able to go back to work with some really insane rules on cleanliness and whatever else. I've been back to work, I think, since the beginning of June-ish. I'm happy that we got to go back. In the first video that I posted when I came back, I mentioned that at the end of December, I got really into just wanting to one last time go for all of my wildest dreams, and a huge part of that is YouTube. I've made a plan. I started 75 Hard, which has been crazy helpful for self-discipline. Planned out the whole month of February. I'm also working with an editor who is also a longtime friend slash neighbor that lives like 2 houses down from me, which is crazy convenient. I feel like the universe has had her there for me this whole time, and I've kind of just had blinders on. She's been wonderful. I'm very grateful to have found somebody that can help me edit these videos who does exactly what I want them to do. I just really feel like, I mean, this is the year. This is the year that I don't give up on this. I'm very excited about it. Thank you guys so much for still being here and still watching. I appreciate it. It means so much to me that you guys, some of you still watch and comment and message me on Instagram and all of those things. It is very sweet. It is always seen and it is always appreciated. This is the year. This is the year she does it and does not give up. I'm gonna prime my face. I forgot to bring that out here. I'm gonna use the Tarte Silk Canvas Primer. I'll be right back. Okay, so I have primer on and now I'm gonna mix. These are both L'Oreal Infallible 24 Fresh Wear. I love this foundation. I know that it breaks me out, but it looks so pretty on the skin. I'm gonna mix mostly the lighter shade 410 and just put a dash of my tan shade, which is 475. I get very pale in the winter and very tan in the summer. 2 pumps of 410, little baby pump of 475. Mix that together with my finger. This also oxidizes just a little bit. I like to work one side of my face at a time. I don't really know why, I just do. I had the spots where I had big dark acne scars. Those have sat this whole time, and usually if you let that sit for a little bit, it will help when you go put your layer of foundation, because that spot concealer has already set. It won't lift it back up. Like sometimes if you go right in with foundation, it just lifts the concealer back up. I say that and then it lifts it off still. This is a great swirlable foundation. You really can do that and not lose coverage. Oh, see, that worked beautifully. Sometimes it doesn't, but it just covered that little acne scar right up. There we go. We got our face nice and covered. Now I'm going to do the same thing, except for get my neck. Because if my face oxidizes, then it will at least match my neck. If you don't know what oxidize means, it just means that sometimes this foundation will kind of progressively get a little bit darker, and I don't want it to not match my neck. So all of that is all blended out. Now I'm going to take Fenty Beauty's cream bronzer in Butta Biscuit. I'm gonna cream contour with this, and just because I'm taking pictures, I'll probably powder contour over that as well. Every time I post a picture of my full body on Instagram, I get messages where people want to know how I got in shape or how I lost the baby weight. Lots of questions like that. People want to see a video. I do want to make a video on how I got in shape and how I lost the baby weight and whatnot. I'm still definitely a work in progress. So I'm not exactly to the point that I would want to be yet, but I am much closer. With doing 75 Hard, it feels like this will be the time that I'll finally lose that last 10 pounds, because I always get so close to that goal number. I might not even like myself at that number. I really don't know. It's just a certain amount of weight that I wanted to lose, and I always get like 10 or 15 pounds away from that number, and then I'm like, I look fine. This is fine. And I just want to see it. I just want to see it one time. I want to be lean and muscular. I have not weighed myself since I started 75 Hard, and I get to weigh myself. Oh my god, if today is 29, I get to weigh myself tomorrow. I didn't even realize. For me, today is day 29 of 75 Hard. When you're watching this, it'll be day 35 or day 36. When you guys are watching this, that's where I should be. I'm gonna go in with 2 concealers. I'm gonna mix light medium and fair light neutral in Shape Tape. get lots of questions about making a video talking about how I'm getting in shape. You guys will kind of see that through my 75 hard experience. I have a very strong gut feeling that I want to get my certified personal training certificate, just because I've always been so interested in fitness and I would love to just have that under my belt. I don't know. I also have been just wanting to learn everything. Like at one point, Strayer University had given my dad's job and one family member a free degree. And I'm so mad that I didn't finish that. Like, that's huge. And I keep trying to call to get set back up in it and finish that, but I guess it's been too long and they, you know, school is just all about making money, so they're not too concerned with my thing that was free at one time. It's not just because I want to learn, I want to be able to teach you guys, but have that training under my belt. And then if I ever wanted to release some type of program or course or anything like that, I would have it under my belt. I really want to do that. I can't stop thinking about it. So obviously I would make a bunch of free videos helping you guys. It's not just about making money, it's just I want to know what I'm talking about, and I don't know. I just don't know. I have a lot of ideas about that, but I will definitely share some videos about things that I did to help me get in shape. One thing that I can tell you here is at the beginning of quarantine, or like the end of last February, before we knew that we were going to be shut down, I hired a personal trainer. Setting powder. I had watched Franny Arietta on YouTube for a long time, and she kept mentioning a girl named Megan Hayes. So I had followed Megan Hayes for a really long time, and I decided to reach out to her, and she felt like a wonderful match for me. I signed up with her and I did 6 months total with her. And that was the best decision I ever made. I didn't really consult anybody about it, about how much it was gonna cost. I just did it and followed my gut like I expected, because I invested the money in it. I stuck with it and I got really good results. And I don't think everybody's like that. I think some people have the willpower to do it by themselves, and I just wasn't one of those people. I would try. I would do about 3 weeks of it by myself and then fall off the bandwagon, and she didn't let me fall off. It wasn't until the end of summer last year, kind of like right when I stopped working with her, I had met Zach and was going out a lot with friends, and I got to that point where I was like, well, this is good. I look good. I don't have to try anymore. At that point is when I really should have kept going with Megan, but instead I looked at my finances and it just wasn't in the cards for me at that point, especially trying to recover from COVID's quarantine stuff. So had to kind of cut that out of the budget for right now. But if anybody's looking for a trainer and seriously wants to invest in lifestyle, fitness, health, she is a wonderful lifestyle coach. There's a difference between people that train like athletes that want to compete in bodybuilding shows, and then lifestyle people like normal everyday me and you that probably aren't going to compete. And I think Megan probably does a little bit of both, but especially if you're just beginning, you don't know a ton about fitness, she teaches you so much. She is extremely educated, so all of the resources you get just from being a part of her community are worth all the money in the world. So highly recommend. Now I'm going to take, again, Fenty Beauty, but her powder bronzer in Shady Biz. Same fluffy brush. Then I'm going to take this blush called Soft Spot, and it is by the Collab brand from Sally's. I've had this for an eternity. I'm just gonna blush it up. In conclusion, I really want to do something with fitness. I just don't know what exactly I want to do. I'd love to create some type of group or, I don't know, support system. My mom is a health coach, an actual certified health coach, so I just like, part of me feels like if I went ahead and got my training license and I had my mom and I took a nutrition course, that way I knew exactly what I was talking about. I feel like I could come up with something really cool for those of you that are serious about changing your life, changing your health. But I will be making videos about fitness and tips and tricks on how I got in shape. Okay, I'm gonna do my eyebrows and I'm gonna wipe my lips off and I'll be right back. Okay, so we have brows, lips. This lip color never does me wrong. This is Too Faced Melted Matte in Cool Girl. When I'm tan, this is such a good shade, but when I'm pale, I know it's a tiny bit dark, but it's just really good for my skin tone. So if you're very like olivey yellow, Cool Girl Melted Matte. by Too Faced. I'm gonna highlight using MAC Soft and Gentle. That is my favorite highlight since forever, especially if you are on the more fair side. When I'm tan, I like Jaclyn Hill's Champagne Pop. I'm gonna take the tiniest bit more shimmer from the Tati palette, pop that in my inner corners so those are nice and bright. I am going to put some lip gloss on, some black eyeliner, do my hair, and then I'll be right back to tell you guys goodbye. Alright you guys, it is like 2:50 and I have to go take these pictures at 3, so I'm gonna go. But thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I love you guys so much. I've missed you so much. If you want to keep up with me on more of a daily basis, you can follow me on Instagram. That is at jordan.channing. I'm trying to hit a goal of 25,000 followers by July, so it would mean a lot to me if you would follow me. I love you guys. Again, thank you so much, and everything that I used on my face will be in the description bar down below, and I will see you in my next video. Mwah. Bye.